I caught a strange man sneaking into my dressing room, but instead of calling the cops, I took him straight to my luxury penthouse. Why? Because his milky, unseeing eyes staring blankly at my sheer lingerie convinced me he was completely blind. When I first grabbed him in the boutique, he panicked, claiming he had just lost his walking cane. The security guard was ready to pull the store cameras to prove he was a creeping pervert, but my guilt took over, and I ordered the guard to let him walk free. He was incredibly sweet about it, telling me he still believed in the good of people despite my harsh accusation. Hearing his optimistic words sparked a wild idea in my head. My own teenage son is also blind, severely depressed, and hasn't spoken to anyone in our penthouse for a year. I desperately begged this positive stranger to come upstairs and talk to my broken boy. Walking into my home, the guy immediately sniffed the air and commented on how rich and fresh the place smelled. Hoping for a miracle, I introduced him to my son Liam and left them alone in the living room. What I didn't know was that the moment I left, this guy started freely walking around, secretly casing my expensive gold jewelry. He even waved his hand in front of Liam's face to test if my son was actually blind. Yet, instead of robbing us, he sat down and listened as Liam confessed how his father abandoned us when he lost his sight. The stranger revealed his own dad did the same, and they bonded deeply over their shared trauma. When I walked back in, my heart dropped as I caught this blind man flawlessly folding a paper crane with perfect vision. Feeling completely violated, I screamed and threatened to call the police on the fake blind con artist. He didn't run, but instead pulled out his empty pockets to prove he hadn't stolen a single dime. Then, my son did the unthinkable and pleaded with me to let him stay, calling this lying stranger his only real friend. When the conman handed me a perfectly folded paper tulip, I realized he might have faked his disability, but he genuinely healed my son's shattered heart.